Caves, 1926 to 1930. After its inception in 1923, the Oregon Caves Company spent its first few years raising the monument's earliest buildings, the rustic log chalet and the small children's nursery called the Kitty Cave in 1923, followed by Gus Liam's guest cottages in 1925 and a guide dormitory in 1926. Each one followed the same rustic architecture style the Forest Service required: native materials, hand-hewn timber, a look meant to belong to the mountain rather than sit on top of it. But Sam Baker's fellow founders, and Liam himself, were not satisfied with cottages and dormitories. They were dreaming of a grand resort hotel unlike anything Oregon had ever seen. Before that dream could take shape, the small circle of Grants Pass boosters, the same men behind the Chamber of Commerce, the Cavemen, and the Young Oregon Caves Company, had a few more years of groundwork to lay. The Cavemen, already a fixture of local parades, were growing into something closer to a traveling ambassador corps. They staged stunts on passing trains, greeted dignitaries in full costume, and turned up at events as far away as San Francisco and Portland. Every appearance carried the same message: come see the Oregon Caves. It was publicity no advertising budget could easily buy. Back at the monument, daily life for guests kept improving. In 1925, nightly campfire entertainment became a fixture of the visitor experience, and young women from Oregon Agricultural College's Home Economics Department began serving meals, adding a polished, hospitable touch to what had been a rugged backcountry stop. By 1929, the company had gone a step further, diverting Cave Creek into a scenic 8-foot waterfall feeding a pool near the cave entrance, a small but deliberate signal that this was no longer a rough mountain camp. The Chamber of Commerce and the Redwood Empire Association kept pushing the story outward. The Redwood Empire Association's vision of a highway corridor along the coast gave Grants Pass a place on a much bigger map, and talk was already turning to a new bridge across the Rogue River that would one day serve as the corridor's northern gateway, a fitting counterpart to the Golden Gate Bridge far to the south. Small mountain businesses now found themselves connected to tourist dollars flowing the length of the Redwood Empire route, with an even grander gateway still to come. By 1930, every piece was finally in place: a paved road, a growing guest capacity, a national publicity machine wearing animal skins, and a business community fully invested in the cave's success. The grand resort hotel Sam Baker and Gus Liam had been dreaming of was no longer just a dream. The Oregon Caves Chateau was next. In our next edition, discover how Gus Liam and a small crew of fewer than 20 men set out to build one of Oregon's grandest lodges, and the bold vision that would become the Oregon Caves Chateau. All of the stories we relay are based in part on the extensive work done by friends of the Oregon Caves and Chateau and many others, detailed and memorialized in the book Oregon Caves National Monument and Preserve, compiled and edited by the FriendsOCAC Development Coordinator, Rose Harwood, and published by Arcadia Publishing. This book is a stunning history of the development and preservation of the marble halls deep within the Siskiyou Mountains. In 2014, the designation of the monument changed to the Oregon Caves National Monument and Preserve, and the footprint was expanded to 4,554 total acres. The Friends of the Oregon Caves and Chateau have selected the best photographs to visually represent the colorful history of this iconic national treasure. You can get your copy by visiting the website FriendsOCAC.org. Restoring a Living Legacy, the Monterey Furniture Project. Inside the Oregon Caves Chateau, guests have always slept in something more than an ordinary bed. Since 1934, they have rested on hand-painted Monterey furniture. The style was born in California in the 1920s and 1930s. It is prized for its carved wood, wrought iron accents, and folk art detailing. Today, the Chateau's collection holds 240 of these original pieces. This makes it the largest public collection of Monterey furniture in the country. No other lodge in the National Park system still uses its original furniture in every room. The Friends of the Oregon Caves and Chateau secured a National Park Foundation grant to upgrade the beds to meet current visitor ADA/ABA requirements. The structural restoration of the furniture is being completed by wood craftsman and designer Ken Aguilar and his team at KA Designs in Grants Pass. Chamber of Commerce partners in the region pointed the friends toward his shop. This came after many unsuccessful tries to find the right local craftsman. Each frame is different, so each one required its own plan. Twin beds are being joined into kings. Full-size beds are being turned into queens. Through it all, the original painted headboards, turned posts, and hand finishes stay intact. With careful adjustments, the beds are expected to serve guests for another 89 years. New wood extensions and hidden metal brackets add strength. All of the beds are being restored to their original style and quality, and adjusted to a universal height that accommodates guests of all accessibility needs. In addition, 5 guest rooms will be made fully accessible when the Chateau reopens, a milestone for a historic lodge built long before such standards existed. Travel Oregon's accessibility consultants have partnered on the project to help guide this work. Furniture is gathered through donations from families who want their pieces honored rather than lost. Each piece is documented, photographed, and tracked through every stage of restoration. As the first completed beds come together, the friends have been invited to create a model room at the Kirbyville Inn. It will give visitors a chance to see and experience the restored furniture firsthand while the Chateau restoration continues. Ramon Ramirez is a Monterey furniture specialist based in Southern California, brings his incredible talent to the project. His entire career has been to honor, restore, and enhance the Monterey furniture style. Ramon worked with a local team to train them on some of the finishing techniques. Ramon Ramirez's own story deserves more room than a single mention. His decades of craftsmanship, his restoration of remarkable pieces, creation of complementary pieces, and his connections to Hollywood's Monterey furniture legacy are the foundation this whole project stands on. Watch for an expanded feature on Ramon Ramirez and his contribution to the Chateau's restoration in an upcoming newsletter.